What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoki review, we're going to be taking a look at something that has been a long time coming, and in fact, I've had in my possession for a few weeks now, and just because of Double October and everything else, I'm just now getting around to. That's a loud truck, but it is the new Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Goldar, and I guess he was kind of a GameStop exclusive. And of course, shout out to my buddy Laura, who actually hit me up when he came in, because I've been going in there like week after week after week trying to snag one. And of course, if you're familiar with the whole debacle with his release, wow. But of course, now, just sitting on shelves. But either way, we got some cool Lightning Collection stuff happening here. Got a great image of Goldar right there, blue and yellow Power Rangers stuff. And got him right there in his little plastic prison. And there, of course, is the GameStop price. It's not terrible, realistically, but if you get these figures virtually anywhere else, they're cheaper. There's always a weird GameStop markup. So you come around that side, you got the same kind of stuff. Go around to the back, and you got a really nice image of Goldar, where he actually is far more gold than he actually does come across. It does look slightly computer generated, so maybe that has something to do with it. And of course, you go to that side, you get a repeat of that art. You go to the bottom, there ain't a whole lot of nothing. So let's get him open. By the way, it's really hefty. So this is only my third Lightning Collection figure because I'm not getting all of the individual Rangers and stuff like that because I have my Legacy Collection. So I've got Lord Zed and I've got the Magna Defender, and that's pretty much it for now. But we'll see what goes on in the future. But let's get him out. Guys, so here we have the Goldar out of packaging, and just messing around with him a little bit. He's pretty cool. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, he's not 100% gold. Well, not painted anyway. So he does have a lot of the inner detail painted, I guess, and then gold plastic everywhere. So on camera, he really doesn't look that bad. Now, I've seen people definitely go in, give him a whole ridiculous gold paint job, which of course, totally doable. Get your favorite spray paint, get your favorite gold marker, whatever you want to do. Sharpie, if you really want to go there, though, of course, be careful. Different types of plastic. But my biggest concern is he feels a little gummy. Like, his torso is clearly not 100%. That's a little bit loose there on that ratchet for the chest. So that's a little bit loose. And of course, his armor here and up here is all super soft to be flexible, but it gives him a funny feeling. But for the most part, that head sculpt is ridiculous. I'm going to zoom in on the head sculpt really quick, and I just love it. The only thing I think it might be missing is like maybe a black wash, just add a little bit of darkness to it, but that really does capture the original mask that was on the character. Now, it does suck that they don't have one that like has an opening mouth for the few scenes where he does do that, but the nice red painted eyes, white painted teeth do look really nice, and a little gold bit on his chin. He's pretty sweet. And you do have the hair bits here with the claws, so that's always a good thing. And this is my like first season Goldar where he doesn't have the wings. And then come back here, you do have this nice hair coming out the backside, all Troy Polamalu-esque. And then his tail, which I think most people probably forgot he even had. Though I kind of feel like that needs to have some white paint to kind of match his hair claws. I don't know. But you got the red plastic here. Of course, everything else is essentially gold plastic. And then you come down to the knee. I believe that's painted red. Honestly, really hard to tell, but the gold is definitely painted on there in the kneecaps. But I mean, the armor overall looks cool. They gave it a nice hammered look, so it looks like real armor. It looks good. I mean, I think the main complaint that anybody's going to have is the lack of gold paint, because clearly in here you could see the major difference. But I think like it adds a textural thing. Also, the fact that that's super shiny, this isn't. It does help your eyes kind of move around, but I do wish they did it a little bit more. Say like here on the knees and on the feet guards and even his toes, stuff like that. Maybe add a little bit more gold paint. Same thing right here on the arms. Definitely could use it, but I believe that is coming down to the plastic they're painting on, because the main thing I'm noticing is the hard plastics don't have any gold paint. Everything is on these soft plastics. So here, the rest of the chest, which they clearly didn't bother getting in the cracks there, they also didn't get under here. So any place that was a little bit more difficult to hit with paint, they obviously didn't, and they didn't finish it all the way around either. This whole backpack piece could have been done as well. So They got a little lazy, if I'm honest. Even the helmet, which does appear to be painted here on the sides, is soft plastic, so that's pretty cool. Now, his articulation, his head does rotate. He can look kind of up and down. I assume it's all just a ball joint. I don't even think there's a disc hinge in or anything like that. Shoulders are normal disc hinges, and due to the armor being the way they are, they're a little bit limited. You can reach up a little bit, and you can go, get them Rangers. That's a terrible Goldar impression. Bicep rotation, as you would normally expect. Double jointed elbow, that the first joint doesn't necessarily do anything. And I'm noticing some issues like I had with other ones where some of the joints are loose. I mean, look how loose this shoulder joint is. Wrist rotation and a little wrist hinge as well. We already looked at the torso where he does lean over nice, and he leans back, well, even more. T-mounted ball joints, if I had to guess. Yep, but not great splitting ability there. He can kick forward really well. Probably not really kick back at all. Got some gold plastic syndrome happening here on the thigh. Double jointed knee, only good for about to there. I don't think there's any... No, there's thigh rotation. It's just way up in there. So it does have a thigh cut. It's just way up on top of the armor. And it's covered, so I guess that's good. Ankles, probably ball joint with disc hinge here to give you some movement. I never even realized he had back claws. One thing I'm digging, they do have holes in the bottom of the feet, so I can get some nice NECA display stands or something like that. Now, for the most part, that's him as he is. He does have other hands if you're wanting to go for that. So he does have a fist hand for the left side. Oh, that is always scary. So I don't mind that at all. He does have this really cool open grabbing right hand, if one is so inclined. Once again, that's a bit scary, but he can now be grabbing or choking or something. He's force choking people. You know, I like that. Other accessories include his sword. Very evil looking sword. Though I believe it's supposed to have more gold on it. I believe like some of these twisty areas around here are supposed to be gold. I'm not super concerned with it. I think it looks really good. It's made in a very nice silver plastic, not chromey, but no swirls. So I like it. A little red jewel painted on there. Obviously, that's not going to work too well with that hand. So let's go ahead and give him back his right sword holding hand. Now, either hand can hold the sword because the left and right hands are both good holding hands. So that is entirely on you, depending on how you want to do it. So there he is with his cool sword, and he's ready to go after the Green Ranger or whoever. And because this is a Lightning Collection figure, of course, it comes with a weird energy attack thing. That's not a bad one, though, and this is sort of made to work just almost specifically on his sword. So that's pretty neat, not gonna lie. I just like the gumminess of them, and I feel like over time they're just gonna get a little wilty and lose any stiffness they might have. But they look cool in the meantime, and you sort of like basically just hooking it around the base of the hilt of the sword there, or the guard. And I don't think you can choke up on that anymore. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Now, of course, he is missing his two main accessories. Look, I just dropped something. Those are his wings, which, let me scooch him back here so we can look at these wings. Look at this thing. Look at that. Got some nice molded gold parts here and molded in feathers, all painted black, and then added some reflectivity there. That's actually nice. The gray is painted. That's not actual light reflection. Now, this side does not have it, so that leads me to believe that this is the outside left wing, or inside, I should say. It does have a little bit of a hinge here. I guess that's going to determine it. I don't know. Are they marked? I can't see anything that specifically marks them. I was just going by the fact that the gold or green bit is painted on that side. So let's see here. I assume that plugging this in will not be incredibly easy, but we'll find out. Okay, that was actually easier than I thought. Okay. Now this one definitely has some paint splotches. You can see there, some overspread. But like I said, I figured that the detailed area is probably the one that faces forward. I don't know that it really matters. It looks like the articulation is basically the same regardless, but plugging that in is not easy. It's a soft plastic going into a soft plastic. Yeah, I guess that's about as good as it gets. So, it looks pretty cool. He's got his wings. They rotate. They can flap. You can, well, in theory, you could move those. It looks hinged, is it not? It's got to be hinged. I guess you can do that. But it looks like... Okay, so this one's just tight. Clearly, one side moved, the other didn't. So there's obviously something not happy there. There we go. Got it to move. So you can get more compact wings for him. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the way to do it there. So now we can have some very nice restrained wings. They don't have to be at full extension at all times. So, I mean, as it goes, this is definitely the best Lightning collection figure so far. And we haven't seen a whole lot more in the way of bad guys, with the exception of the Psycho Rangers, which I already have. I mean, the only real reason that's going to cause me issues is if they do the full collection of Psycho Rangers, and I'll never have that from Bandai. But we'll go ahead and bring in the Lord of Darkness, who leads him, Mr. Zed, who has the loosest hips in history. So that's my main problem with some of these. His hips are very loose as well. So it seems to be a problem. But these two together look absolutely fantastic. And it's taken incredibly long to get to this point. So it's sad that it takes an entirely different company to finally give us some bad guy figures in the Power Rangers line that are, you know, in a decent size scale. Now, once again, the main problem with the Lightning collection is they are smaller than the previous Legacy collection. So even if your basic Ranger is still going to be taller than Goldar, and that's not happy. So I want the bad guys to be on their own shelf, their own display, not necessarily interacting with my Legacy Rangers, but I like my Legacy Rangers as they are. As for something like I've got the Magna Defender, I might end up picking up all the rest of the Lost Galaxy Rangers, stuff like that, or Galaxy Rangers, I should just say. So that might be a thing that happens. If they do them individually, like I know the red 2-pack is a thing, I don't really need that. If we're getting Rita anytime soon, I definitely have to have Rita. I know that Rito is supposed to be coming, and Rito and Goldar and Zed would be a great little triple team to have. So definitely not going to complain about that, but I want a Squat and Babu 2-pack. Make it happen. But usually when they're doing the 2-packs now, they're doing a bad guy and a good guy, like two separate characters together. Or actually no, because then they have the Jason 2-pack, the Tommy 2-pack, stuff like that. So I guess in theory they could give us a Squat and Babu. And I discussed it on a live stream at one point. I think it'd be cool to have a Squat and Skull and a Babu and a Bulk 2-pack. So you got to buy both to get both those characters. That's the only time I think I'm okay with it. But giving us Finster and Rita as a 2-pack would be also really awesome. I don't care if it's an exclusive or whatever. But then that also opens up the door later for a like Alpha 5, a good proper Alpha 5, which I'm fine with getting. And also a Finster 5, since we have Lord Draken who's out now. Which, if I do run across a Lord Draken in the wild, I'll probably pick it up if I'm honest. But I don't need like armored Black Ranger, stuff like that. That, you know, that's a Walgreens exclusive. That is not rare. But I've rambled on long enough. Basically, Goldar's awesome. Find him, get him, repaint him if you want. I don't feel the need to add gold paint to him. I think he looks perfectly fine as he is. If nothing, I'd add a black wash to capture the wrinkles in his face a little bit more. Other than that, I think it's a fantastic figure. Catch him on discount if you can from GameStop. Don't pay secondary prices by anybody who thought they were crazy. And hopefully Hasbro doesn't make the same mistakes they did before. One thing I'm thinking about is maybe switching him to left-hand holding sword and using this really cool posable right hand. So, either way, guys, if you like Goldar, go ahead and give me a big old thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribers button. I really want to try to grow this secondary channel. And of course, if you haven't, go check out the Patreon. By all means, it will help keep this channel going, because God knows when it will be monetized. But guys, until the next review, remember as always to keep on nerding.